Hi guys, so look at this. Well, guys and ladies, look at this. It's like a mini Berlin Wall. It's constant to run up in Marley, so half of it's segregated. Yeah, it probably is. Half of it's segregated. And yeah, around all the houses segregated and everything. So it's really, really, really interesting. And I'm just thinking, it looks like something like the Berlin Wall. And I think we all have our Berlin Walls. I know I certainly did. And it was around my belief system on two levels. My belief system, how things actually worked, and my belief system around my own limiting beliefs. Because, like all of us, I have the script, and it's not fixed, but we think it is, and we're entrenched into it. And yeah, I was fortunate enough to go up to the IMI, spend a couple of years up there with absolutely incredible lecturers. Yeah, absolutely incredible people in the class, and lecturers were very wise to use us as their mechanism for knowledge rather than positioning themselves totally as experts. They use the expertise in class. Extraordinary people. So we did a massive course in strategy, and it was really, really interesting and wonderful. A great course, highly enjoyable. And you kind of think you have all the answers, but in reality, if you don't have alignment of values, and you don't have your own personal story, and you don't take away limiting beliefs, strategy is utterly, completely useless. As the old saying goes, culture beats strategy all the day. And I don't know why, but I always just limited that to organizations. But it isn't. It's personal culture beats strategy all the day. So if you want a strategy, well, at least this is the way that I think, if you want a strategy to win on a personal level, you actually have to align your own culture and your own beliefs, your own values, your own systems, your own rules, your own dispositions, your own habits, your own values, your own references, and your own your own limiting belief systems. So, God, that was a blast of music there. I loved it. And I love also what I do actually. I would never normally walk this way. I love walking the pathway in different directions, because you see everything in different light and different things, different horizons. So, how'd you actually do that then? Neurologically, through massive association, pain and pleasure. Psychologically, analysis. Hardwiring through auto-suggestion and continuous auto-suggestion and indoctrination itself. Goals and aspirations. Goals are brilliant because they're actually all of those things listed in together. And has to be an identity shift. If you're going to be the man or woman who turns from being a labourer to a carpenter, you have to see yourself as a carpenter. If you're going to be a carpenter who wants to become a master carpenter, that's the identity you got to take on. If you're going to be the carpenter, and I'm not saying you should or you would or you want to do any of these things, but it's about identity shift. If you want to be the foreman, and then you want to be the project leader, and then you want to be the company owner, and all of them, I'm not saying they're linear steps, far from it, but I'm not saying they're appropriate for everybody either. God's amazing, all of the polite commentary we have to have just to qualify things, which is good and bad in itself. So, but identity has to change. You have to be the person you want to be. and you have to perceive it, and you got to anchor it. And the slow way to do that is years and years of evolution. The fast, hard way is auto-suggestion, visualization, mind conditioning, mind gym, writing your pre-story as if it's already happening, belief changes, value alignment, redefining references that are limiting, role modeling, but it needs emotional intensity to make it bang. You have to get supercharged and excited. When I look back at whatever achievements I have, and they're very small in comparison to a lot of other people, and that's actually an interesting thing, and I know why they're small in comparison to other people. But when I look back at whatever I achieved, it had intensity first. I was all in. My daughter, I got 2 daughters, and both of them in different. Well, I'd actually like one of them that didn't kick my butt more often. Jesus, it's Father's Day, and it's very strange because I'm actually out here, and both of them are away, living wonderful lives and doing wonderful things. But my youngest daughter, her saying is locked in, and when she goes to play a match, she's all locked in. And extremely proud of her. She actually won the Division A Under 16s final in Camogie, and I turned to her and said, wow, what was your mind state for that? She said, I was all locked in. This kid's under 13. And no matter how locked in you are, it takes some going. It takes some going to play 3 up. But that was the shift in her mind. And I just said to myself, Jeannie Mac, this kid can teach me so much. As for my other daughter, okay, okay, I have to be very careful because she cuts me in half in an argument. It's so funny. I can see what she's going to say. I know what she's going to say. And I also know it's clever in what I'm going to say. Oh my God almighty. But that keeps me on my toes too. That keeps me on the toes. And why haven't I achieved more in life? And that's a fundamental question we all ask ourselves. Fear is one of them. Absolute fear. Not having a greater sense of identity. Not learning from my failures and implementing them quicker. Not actually being in an environment where failures were perceived as positive things, or not staying in an environment. In Ireland, there's big consequences for failure. In America, you move on very quickly, which has we all know this stuff. It's got major impacts upon mindset, dispositions, orientations, re-advancement, innovation. We all, not saying anything anybody doesn't know, we're documented a million times better than I could, but actually going to go this way for once. So, limited mindsets, conditioning, also fear that it may obliterate me. That's the honest God truth. Certainly don't have as much of that now. I think it would have misaligned me as a person. I think I probably would have been open to actually getting totally consumed. I remember being in New York for a weekend with my cousin, and he introduced me to a lot of, well, that's his cohort, a lot of great people who had a lot of money. But one guy got talking to me and said, he was asking my advice about painting coats and protection. The guy had a house out in, I think it was Monotone, out at the end of Long Island. Anyway, so I was talking about different products for him. He said, will you come And I think it was about here I was for a weekend in San Francisco or New York, and said, no, I don't think I'll be doing this. And it would have been a profitable job, but it would have meant I went to New York for a weekend and didn't come back for a month. And the younger me would have said, yeah, absolutely, the younger me would have. But for me, it's about putting first things first and having no regrets. And first things first is the family, and in every guy's shape or form that is. And what's amazing is because my family's getting a little bit older, I'm having more time. So it's not that I'm not putting first things first. I actually have time to do other things, but still putting first things first. So it has to do with identity. Growth has to start with, for me, and everybody's got their own system to do this, but for me, have to bring the intensity. The intensity is desires, engine and fuel. It is, self-discipline. Forget self-discipline. Self-discipline kill you all day, every day. Get obsessive. that engulfs self-discipline. Self-discipline is a stream. Obsessiveness is the Atlantic Ocean. You get obsessive about something, it'll happen. And you get so utterly convinced in your mind it has already happened. And for me, the only way that I can anchor and do that is by absolute belief, repetition, intensity, and small victories. So, thanks very much for sharing time, folks. Absolutely love getting out and about. I had a lovely call from somebody the other day who reached out to me, and it was from the UK, and really, really appreciative. Somebody reached out to me, and so it was a lovely conversation. Really appreciate it. And gotta be honest with you, all of this is utter garbage. It really is. Obsessiveness and wealth, and for me, accumulation. Get to a certain stage, you can only eat one steak. But it's about the alignment of peace, having peace of mind that you know that there is income streams. That's where the real victory is. And looking at passive income streams, and the reason that I firmly believe in those is for peace of mind. For peace of mind, as far as I'm concerned, wealth accumulation is for peace of mind. It is not for draconian self-indulgence. It's for peace of mind. And don't worry, I've been on the other end too. So, thanks very much for sharing. Take care of yourselves. Have a great time. And thank you, guys and ladies. Appreciate it. Thank you.